is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Country Boys RC, and this video is going to be a build update on what I've got finished on the Team C Racing TC02 Evo mid-motor buggy. Been working on it pretty good here. Haven't really had any issues with parts fitting, other than the front C-hubs having to trim a little bit of material off of the front arms, and I also had to trim out or just take my Dremel and Dremel out where the bearings go for the front steering assembly. There was a little bit of it was too tight. It wasn't letting everything sit flat, so I went in there, cleaned it up, and it works good now. Whenever I was doing the unboxing video, I did not realize all of the aluminum upgrades that this thing comes with. So I'll go over that now for you guys, just to let you guys know what all it's got. It does have, I think I said it in the unboxing, it does have the aluminum knuckles. It has an aluminum bulkhead. Front hinge pin holder is aluminum. The entire steering assembly, other than the Ackerman plate, is aluminum. That's all on the front end. On the rear end of the buggy, everything that's aluminum is, you get that nice aluminum motor mount plate. You get this rear hinge pin brace. It uses these little square inserts, kind of like an 8-scale buggy would use to adjust your rear toe and your rear anti-squat on it. Then you also get this other aluminum piece. This is actually your rear shock mount, or shock tower mount. It is all aluminum. No issues there putting anything together. The only big gripes I've got so far, other than the E-clips, I haven't lost one, thankfully, so far. I'm about to start working on the shocks, and those have E-clips on the inside, and it uses a little bit of a little small spring retainer to hold everything in the bottom of the shock. We'll see how that goes. But the only big issue I've had so far with this kit is the rear 12mm hexes. They are aluminum along with the fronts. On the front you get the locking 12mm hexes, but on the rear you just get these 12mm hexes, and they're drilled all the way across to where when you take the wheel off, if you're not careful, the pin can actually slide out either side of the wheel hex if you've got it turned up on edge. And what I mean it's drilled all the way across is, put it in a pair of pliers and show you guys here. Hold it up there to the camera, if it will focus. As you can see, that goes all the way across, and there's the opening, and it's like that on both sides. Why they would do that, I don't know, and why they didn't put rear locking pins in there, or rear locking hexes, I don't know. But luckily I had some other hexes. They're aluminum. They're not locking, but I don't have to worry about them being drilled all the way across like the stock ones are. They're a little bit wider, so it's going to push that rear tire out a little bit. We'll see if they'll work. I haven't put the rear wheels on yet to check to see if there's going to be any fitment issues with that. But I'll set these up here side by side for you. This one, that's the stock width. You know, it's, let me see if I've got my digital calipers here somewhere. Yeah, right here they are. The stock rear hexes are just about, they're about 4.15 millimeters in width. The ones I'm going to be using are going on, let's see here, they're over 5.5 millimeters in width. So that is, you know, it's not a big jump, but it is a big enough jump to where it will adjust a little bit of a handling difference. Let's see what else. Things I've used so far tool wise: pair pliers to hold the turnbuckles while I build them. You'll need a pair of needle nose to put all of your E-clips in and to snap your ball cups onto all the ball studs for your, or all your turnbuckles on. You'll need a tube of Loctite because this kit does use have parts of it to where screws go into metal, and you want to make sure you Loctite those very well so they don't back out on you. The transmission, told you guys I'd look into it. It is a 4-gear transmission. It's got that double idler gear in it. You've got, like I said, that aluminum top gear, top shaft gear, 2 aluminum idler gears, and then you got a plastic diff gear with metal gears inside of it. I guess the reason behind that is you've got to have a little bit of a give somewhere so you don't break other things. I've talked to a couple guys and they've told me that the B5 gears will fit in this diff wise, so I may be looking at getting a nice upgrade to a B5 diff gear. They don't send any grease or anything to just put on or to coat those gears with inside the transmission, so I just went to the hardware store and I picked up this tube of white lithium grease. I think I spent like $3 on this tube here. Just put a little bit on the gears, spun it around, make sure they all got coated very well, and that was it. You'll need some type of knife. This is just one of the utility knives you can pick up at the hardware store to cut all the extra parts off of the parts trees, like your front arms, your C-hubs, just parts like that. You'll need to trim off any extra flashing stuff. That comes in handy. So far, everything in this kit has been metric. I've used the 1.5 millimeter driver and a 2 millimeter driver on basically everything on this kit. I haven't got to anything that requires a 2.5 or bigger, but if it does come to it, I do have those. You will also need a 7 millimeter socket to adjust your slipper clutch when you build it, and you will need a nice area to work with to build this kit, because there's a lot of times when you're opening bags up there's got a bunch of screws in it. It's easier just to dump that whole bag out and pick out the screw you need or the little spacer you need. So that's it on this one, guys. Next video, we're going to be getting the shocks finished up. You're going to see what shock oil I've used. I didn't use the included diff oil because I wasn't quite sure of the CST, or the correct weight of it. So I went in my shock and diff oil box and I got out this 3000 weight factory team oil. That's what I'm running in the rear diff. I haven't decided what I want to do in the shocks yet, but the springs, it's going to be white springs on the front and green factory team springs in the rear. I'm going to be running the stock kit pistons for the time being, but I will be purchasing some upgrades so I have a little bit of a choice depending on my track conditions. So that's it on this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you guys on the next one.